In 2017, ICOs were so hot. In 2018, STOs were so hot. In 2020, DeFi was so hot and still is. In 2021, NFTs are going to be so hot. And once upon a time, we were so hot also. Now we're just a couple of old curmudgeons. But you want to know what else is going to be super hot in 2021? Social money. In fact, we're already seeing signs of it as rappers, rockers, artists, athletes, collectors, and others are launching their own social money. Today, we welcome Bradley Miles from tryroll.com to the show to discuss the rise of social money. And here's a spoiler alert, we're going to be rolling out our own social money to you, our fans. Social media may have seen its best days, but social money is just getting started. You don't want to miss your opportunity to be a hero. As we interview Brad from Roll on episode number 481 of the Bad Crypto Podcast.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, ignition.
Who's bad?
And welcome to the most social podcast that you're listening to right now, the Bad Crypto Podcast. I'm Joel Comm.
I am Travis Wright. Welcome to the show.
So social.
I'm becoming more antisocial, actually.
I'm Joel Scholl.
Social.
Joel Scholl Media.
Social media. Very nice.
I'm going to have a Joel Scholl token.
Oh, good Lord.
That's for sure. Hey, you want to get something done quick, easy, and inexpensive? Use AnyTask.com. It's built on the Electroneum blockchain, and you can get thousands of high-quality tasks starting at $1. They've got over 4 million users on the Electroneum blockchain and thousands of freelancers able to provide excellent work to you. We use them. You should give them a try as well. Go to AnyTask.com and check it out.
And oh, by the way, if you haven't gotten your $50 in free Bitcoin from eToro, you should do it. It's badco.in/eToro for U.S. residents only. And with the price of Bitcoin maybe taking a bit of a dip right now, might not be a bad time to get yourself $50 worth of Bitcoin, because what goes up might come down. What goes down might come back up. So get yourself $50 worth of Bitcoin. All you got to do is buy some Bitcoin on eToro. Send us over your account to prove that you bought at least $50, and we'll send you $50. That's what we've been doing, and it's going well for the folks who've done it already, so why not do it too?
But you got to go through our link, badco.in/eToro is where you find that, badco.in/eToro. So, Lord Travis, this interview is the jumping off point for something that I think is really, really big.
I agree. I think that we should just jump into it.
Here we go. Get ready to jump off. By now, you've heard the term social money. What exactly does that mean? Is that like dollar bills that want to talk to one another? I don't know. I'm confused.
Yeah, money that has its own social network that says, "Hey,
hey like guys, let's be currency here. Let's talk." Now we're talking about something else here. We're talking about a new way of engaging with audiences using ERC20 tokens on the web. And we have with us today the CEO and founder of tryroll.com, Bradley Miles, and this is a social money platform redefining how we interact online. Bradley, welcome to Bad Crypto.
Hey, Joel. Hey, Travis. Pleasure to be here. Big fan.
What is your Reader's Digest definition of social money?
Well, guys, over the past 20 years, we've seen people create content. That content has now been proven to be worth billions of dollars.
Not mine.
This largely goes to platforms. We're simply posing a question. What if instead of creating content on the web, you could actually create your own capital? And what we're seeing is digital communities are now established enough. Digital community is not a new idea by any means, but digital community as a category is, established enough to pose this question quite strongly. And so what social money really is the reinvention of digital content as digital capital. And so what that means is the 50 million plus creators across the web, they can all have their own money, their own capital that's specific to their communities. Taylor Swift can mint Swifties. Lady Gaga can mint, I think she calls her community little monsters. So Lady Gaga.
Not Goggies.
Lady Gaga can mint Goggies. And Goggies and Swifties are completely different value propositions. They're completely different economics from completely different communities. And for us, this is where we think the real power comes from. It is rare in the entire history of money up until a few years ago that people can create their own currency. And we're pretty excited about that premise, and we're pretty excited to answer those questions.
And so the website is tryroll.com. And from some of the offline conversations that you had with you guys have what, about 300 different influencers and brands, or is it mostly influencers? Who are the folks that are your token holders at this point, or token creators?
Yeah, so I just want to tell this story for maybe entrepreneurs that are watching it that'll be like, oh man, that sounds like a lot or whatever. So I failed hundreds of times, onboarding people, even the concept, the name social money comes from failing and trying to introduce, regular people to crypto or tokens or this or that. The very first creator on Roll, I actually met at VidCon a few years ago. And it's a lady named Laurel. And she is from the ASMR space where they whisper like this and give you tingles in your spine.
Oh, yes.
And Laurel.
I got shivers. Thank you, Bradley.
Yeah. So Laurel quite cleverly called her social money Tingles. And Tingles are held by thousands of people across Instagram and TikTok. From there, we went actually to a space you guys are deeply familiar with, the NFT world. So we had about 60 or 70 NFT creators. We then stretched out to, other people in the blockchain space. And, we're about to mint with some events and brands and partnering with, public companies, and the sky's the limit. We think everyone's going to want their own money for their community in the future. And my goal is to get to over 1,000 creators by the end of the year.
Let's deal with the legal aspect of this, right? Because we see the SEC coming down on ICOs and, those that they're saying they're issuing securities. Obviously, you're not just taking a haphazard approach to this. You guys have done your homework. What makes social money safe from the government agencies that would seek to shut down various cryptocurrencies?
Yeah, so a bit about my background and my co-founder. We've each been in the blockchain. It's 2021. We've each been in the blockchain space for around 7 years. So I started as a researcher at a company called CoinDesk, the head researcher there. And my co-founder founded a very well-known research company at the time called Smith & Crown, that I basically got a lot of our research from because it was very good. And, we really take a research-driven perspective here. So what that means is, there's several bodies that govern, I'd say, securities and also money and other concepts like loyalty in the U.S. And so the body that governs platforms like Kickstarter, Patreon, OnlyFans, Substack, etc., is the FTC. And what we've done is we've really carved out a universe for a product that is mainly governed by FTC jurisdiction. This is to say, we focus on the category of loyalty and rewards. So here are the things that you can do on Roll. And this is why the term social money is important, right? Because you can do anything with a cryptocurrency. But we're creating our own brand within that has a very specific thing that you can do. So there's 3 pillars of utility with social money. You can create ways to earn it. You can create ways to spend it. And you can be a member of a community. These are all sort of upgrades of things that you can do on sort of a Patreon, OnlyFans, Substack, etc. And this is sort of the jurisdiction that we're gonna play in. Things that you can't do on Roll are, tokenize your contract if you're a basketball player, and give dividends to your fans, or create any sort of debt-based agreement, similar to something like Lending Club or AngelList. So those are bodies that are governed by the SEC, which regulates securities, versus the FTC, which is more about loyalty, rewards, membership. So we stay in that space, and all's great so far. We have a few lawyers that have their own social money on Roll too. So we're pretty excited about the framework that we've built, and
it is a fascinating space, and I'm actually right here on Uniswap right now. And so if I'm like looking for a token, and then what I noticed was I scrolled down, I was like, I don't see it. But then I looked at the Uniswap default list, and then I changed that. And then I see other ones. I see 1inch, I see the AVE token list, the CMC DeFi list, CoinGecko compound list. And I was like, oh, here's Roll social money list. And then I clicked on this, and then that shows all kinds of additional tokens that are available on your platform. So you basically have your own ERC20 Uniswap area within the Uniswap ecosystem, right? And so does that mean people can just go in and start buying your tokens, or is that how legal is that, or what's the deal with this? Because now you got these creators that have tokens, and it says, hey, you need these tokens to access this content. You don't have any, you haven't earned any, you can go buy them, but who do you buy them from? How does that system work?
Yeah, so hats off to Hayden. He's created a great product with Uniswap and the team there. Quite brilliantly, he's realized that people are going to create tokens for whatever reason. And, we were really gung-ho about building something on top of Uniswap and creating that list. So on Roll, you'll realize that, it's quite curated. This is to say that, no one, we wouldn't want someone to come on and create, Kanye tokens that it isn't Kanye per se. Mm-hmm. And so with that, the first level of curation, we want to make sure that the creators are creators that are coming in with a sense of community and can create this utility-driven purpose with their social money. And then the second layer is, generally when people have a market, we like to think that they've established some sense of community with their social money, with their currency. So, from there, you could imagine someone, Joe Schmo coming along and creating Schmo coins. All of a sudden, a few hundred people hold Schmo. They want to buy it. They want to access it. So we're going to come along and, we're going to see if we could list Schmo on Uniswap and help Joe market make it. Maybe he's not too familiar. So Roll kind of fills in a lot of the gaps for your community to effectively go public.
Let's give a couple of use cases here, because I want you to break it down so that, this is how this works in the real world. And I want to talk about two cases. One of them, I'm going to say, let's talk about Whale. And then the other one, I want you to pick one of the social money currencies that is doing something really different from what Whale's doing, so we can kind of get an idea of how this works. Let's talk about Whale.
Yeah, so Whale is the social money of a very successful creator on Roll named Whale Shark. Whale Shark's one of 300 creators. What's special about Whale Shark is he's become quite popular in the NFT space. He's not necessarily a big creator of NFTs. He's a big collector, specifically in NFT art. I'd go so far as to say he's a Rockefeller or David Geffen of NFT art. If there does emerge a Picasso or a Dali in that world, you can bet he has something, in his collection representing those artists. He has uniquely formed a sort of vault. You could imagine the creators of the MoMA collateralizing the art that's in there and creating their own money, through that. This is effectively Whale. What's fascinating about this is he's drawn quite a large community that effectively feels like they have a stake in this vault that he's created, but more so a stake in the community he's built. What's fascinating is the value of the vault is somewhat in the low seven figures. You could say it's around, $1 to $2 million. Whale as a market is actively trading at around $40 to $50 million with a fully diluted market. So what we believe is that, building a community through your own social money is so powerful that it could actually trade on a multiple of, the underlying value that you have there. So Whale Shark has become sort of one of the first ones to collateralize a community, back it with assets. And we do think that's an interesting model moving forward. We're looking at that as well. And so you guys can check out Whale Shark on Twitter.
So whale.me, right?
Yeah, whale.me is the website. I think his Twitter is Whale Shark Pro. Maybe I'll drop a few whale in the description that you guys can pass along to. He's a unique creator. And so I'll give another example of a creator we like a lot named Harrison. So Harrison didn't know what Ethereum was when we met mid last year. And now he's quite simply taken the music world by storm and also the crypto world. Harrison's an emerging DJ and producer, and he goes by the name Harrison First on Twitter, and he created his social money and called it First. And he's created several events around First, and he's given exclusive previews of his music through First. And so what you need to do to hear his music from now on before it's publicly available is attend a sort of First Friday or event where he's gathered a bunch of super fans that all hold First. They hold his social money. And in order to get access to what's going on, there are certain tiers that are set, right? Maybe you need to hold 500 First to get in or 1,000 First. And this tiered approach is really interesting because it becomes less so about Harrison and more so about the other people in the room, right? Imagine being at a club or an event or something, and you realize, everyone there is as passionate as you about this thing. And they have the capital, they have the social capital to show that. So the relationship with First becomes a little less about Harrison and sort of a lot more peer-to-peer. So we're seeing social money really serve an interesting position in community as sort of a form of access. That's sort of the first thing. And there's a bunch of awesome features in the pipeline as well that will release later this year that allow you to do a few other things as well.
That's good. I was sitting there thinking that, so you're calling it social money. You could also call it like social holding influencer tokens. And the acronym would be SHIT, because these are like shit coins. Yeah. But it's a whole different way. It's like when you talk to folks about it and you realize like it's social influencer money. It's influencer social money, and it's brands, celebrities social money, and content creators social money. It really has an interesting ecosystem to it. It has an interesting idea. So I mean, I noticed that you're on the Clubhouse app, right?
Yeah, I dabbled with it. Yeah.
I saw that your username was on there because I was seeing this and I was like, we've got some connections with some people who are pretty high up within the ecosystem, and it's like, man, a lot of these rooms, like, how cool would it be if like you have to have X amount of social tokens to be able to get into this room? Or because I know I've been in some rooms and I just get booted out because I don't fit the demographic that they're looking for according to my avatar. And I just got booted. I was like, oh man, I see, this is interesting. Oh, so it's like I didn't pass the velvet rope challenge. And so, having the social influencer tokens and social money allows you to sort of do certain things. Now, you mentioned something early on. You talked about you got 60 or 70 people who are in the NFT space, which is how I think that we got brought on, because we're doing a lot of stuff with Blockchain Heroes and Nifty Box and the Nifty Show and all the other stuff. What is the cross-pollination that, because I know when we first had a conversation, you're like, Roll's not going to do anything with NFTs. And I'm curious, like, has that changed? And what are your thoughts on NFTs? And what are maybe some of your influencers doing around NFTs?
Yeah. First, I'm just going to say I'm like a huge fan of NFTs. I don't know what NFTs are going to become. It's such a curious category. If you were to tell me, I have no idea where NFTs are going to be in 5 years. I don't know where the market's going to be. I don't know what people are going to be doing the most. If it's going to be like buying art or, using it as a ticket to get into South by Southwest, I have no idea. And so for me, it's wide open. And I don't know if the market's too saturated or just, I can't make heads or tails of it. What I do know is I do know communities will be around in 5 years. And I do know that, I'm obviously a deep believer in Ethereum and Web3 and blockchain. So I do believe that once you merge community and Ethereum, you will get this Cambrian explosion of money that's specific to community. Everyone will start to become their own central bank. They'll need certain tools to do it. Roll will be that tool. I think, and this is happening more frequently now, almost cross blockchain too. NFT creators and NFT platforms are coming to us, and they're trying to integrate and sort of find ways to do it. There's an interesting platform called Charged Particles that allows you to put ERC20s inside of your NFTs. And so that's like an interesting idea and concept. You imagine like a whale shark NFT with 100 whale in it. It's like $400. So that's an interesting idea. I don't think we'll lead the NFT world because I honestly can't figure it out.
We're from the future, so we can tell you it's going to be all of those things. It's going to be tickets, it's going to be art, it's going to be collectibles, and it's going to be more. Anything that requires some sort of certificate of ownership, right? Whether it's for something static or dynamic, we're going to discover that those are use cases for NFTs. So let's go back to the social money here. Who is, if you were going to try to put a big tent over potential customers for Roll, who's it for? Where does it begin and end?
So Roll is for anyone that's formed a community online and wants to monetize that community. Right now, we're seeing that's around 60 million different creators. And then that will largely expand to events. I'll let you guys guess who this is, but the largest event in the crypto space will work with Roll later this year, and we'll do something quite special and may enter the event space. But for now, you can sort of think about the opportunity and the addressable market as quite massive. It's anyone that is forming content and community on the web and wants to monetize that.
Let me ask you this then. So let's say, you're a creator and you get a token, but you can't sell any because you can't raise money that way. You're not able to offer that in dividends. And how does that work? How can your fans be rewarded over time with this social money if money exchange is kind of a problem?
So there's a few interesting things you hit on, and how we're thinking about this is it's a community first approach. So what that means is once you build the community, just like you guys have done, right? How do you monetize on YouTube on day one? You don't. You have to build a community first, then you get that big monetize button, and you can do it their way with ads. So in our world, what we're building from ground up right now is, we want to identify a community on Roll as sort of a community that's established, right? There's, let's say, a few hundred people that are part of the community. They're sort of active. We want to create that sort of bond through social money. After that, placing it on a market allows those early community members to literally have a dollar value of something in their wallet that they otherwise wouldn't have had. What they do with that at that point is sort of up to them. On the creator side, we're very close to basically allowing anyone in the world to buy your social money directly on Roll. This is a little different than what you were just talking about earlier, Travis, on Uniswap, because when you're buying it on roll, what you'll actively be doing is buying it from the creator supply. So it'll be a feature somewhat similar to a Patreon OnlyFans Substack, but sort of exchange traded. And so what that means is you can buy someone's social money very soon in Bitcoin, ETH, Korean won, pounds.
So wait,
dollars.
does that mean creators can then sell their currency and that doesn't cause a problem legally?
So they're buying it. They're buying it on roll in the same way that you're supporting a community on Substack, OnlyFans, or Patreon. It's literally sort of an upgrade of that concept within the same framework.
So would it be like a monthly membership then? So I think that might be the way to get around it is, hey, you buy 50 of these tokens every month, and then it's like an automatic thing. And then like that's kind of supporting that, because the Patreon and the OnlyFans model is, the OnlyFans model has its own little model. We're not going to go down that road. I don't want to see Joel naked.
I said no dick pics at the beginning.
Yeah. I think that was the other show we did that.
Oh yeah. That's true. Too many interviews.
Yeah. So it is. It becomes like the Patreon model, which has had censorship problems as well. And so this right here it's like, all right, so if you're buying 1,000 of these tokens from Gaga, some Gogsies or whatever we called them, then now that money goes into Lady Gaga's Ethereum wallet. Now she has Ethereum because somebody just supported her community.
Yeah, I mean, if there's a big Bitcoin whale that wants some Goggies, you can go ahead and jump on roll, pay 1 Bitcoin, and get 30,000 Goggies, and get out of there. And
I want 2 of those tokens so I can say that's a nice set of Gagas right there. Let's bring it home. We have community, right? The Republic of Bad Cryptopia is a community. There's listeners to the show. We have a community of people that collect our digital collectibles. Blockchain Heroes got a great community. We've got a community that subscribed to our Nifty box. We've got a community that listens and tunes into the Nifty show every week. I've got a community from those who have read my books or seen me speak. Travis has one as well.
I have a community of one. It's only one. It's my mom.
Your mom.
She loves it.
How would we, use something like Roll across all of these communities?
Yeah, so that's very interesting. If we were like a content form, we would say, hey, come over and create content, on our platform. And, behind the scenes, we're, maybe trying to monetize it, but that content is owned by us, and you're creating all this stuff on our platform. And this is the old world. In the new world, you guys get to create your own capital that belongs to you. And more importantly, belongs to your community. So a group like the Bad Cryptopia universe, as you put it, can create their own capital, their own social money, and spread that across brands, across platforms that have even yet to be created. I mean, as long as you could send a message on a platform in the next 5 years, you could send your social money out there. And this is the real importance. It's a fundamental shift, but once you really get it, that this is like an interoperable way for the same community to exist and be represented across platforms, it's sort of a fascinating approach. So, a community like yours can come to Roll, create their own social money. Doesn't matter if you guys want to start a TikTok tomorrow or, whatever's going to be the next thing. You could integrate, your community into it through your currency.
So would we give it away to listeners? Hey, you heard this show and here's some token for you. And then you would do what with it? Help us brainstorm through this.
Yeah. So I see a lot of your followers in the YouTube videos. I see the top commenters. You guys are really big on Twitter and sort of a few other platforms. You guys are crushing it in the NFT universe. I could probably think of 20 people right now that would probably love some social money from you guys. And so what you want to do in the early days, the first step, I guess after announcing it, is really finding ways to reward those early supporters that really, brought you guys to where you are today. Literally a token of gratitude.
My mom, I got to give my mom some tokens.
Yeah, both.
She helped me get me here.
And, from that, what happens is, you're upgrading your community to the next level. They're not just users anymore. They're stakeholders in your universe. And that's a really special sense of belonging. That person commenting on your YouTube over and over again, they're commenting on other YouTubes. They're watching hundreds of videos a day. Do they have a stake in any of those communities? Probably not. You being one of the first communities that allows them to have that deeper sense of belonging is really, really special. You guys are sort of introducing a new world to them in that way. And so that's really step one, creating this sense of belonging by, bringing on these sort of, early stakeholders in your community, early users in your community, and making them stakeholders. After that, what we've seen on Roll work really well is this idea of creating this, doesn't really matter the platform, and there's going to be many options later. But step two is creating this way for users to gain access to your community simply through holding your token. So they're not spending it. You're just proving that they hold it. And the power there is they still get to feel like a stakeholder. And there may be some dude in Wisconsin or some lady in Las Vegas, that maybe maybe it costs 500 of your token to get into your community. And maybe, those folks only have 3 or 4. But guess what? They're going to want to stack more and more of it because they're seeing that there's experiences that they could be a part of. And they almost already have a stake in those experiences beforehand by holding 3 or 4, units of your social money. So step 2 would be building a community where, it's kind of hold to get in. And then, step 3, from there is, really that it's time to create a market. People want to buy it. They want to sell it. They want to trade it. They want to use it for access. And, quite soon we're going to have a pretty awesome way to monetize that we talked about a little earlier with the Goggies example. And then, from there, it's sort of world domination. I can't talk about too much, but there's some very interesting public companies and others that really want to expand the Roll universe larger than we ever imagined. So imagine many, many, many people. So you guys are going to be the first. You guys are going to be the first people that accept your social money as merchants. So you're gonna accept your social money and then give something back.
Let me ask you that real quick, just as an add-on. So can we have like companies that want to be on the show? We can say, all right, well, you can be on Bad Crypto, but you got to buy hero tokens to get on the show, right? And so they basically buy their sponsorship. Let's say it's $1,000, and they just buy $1,000 worth of a token that's on for our show.
Yeah, I mean, the model would work. Very similar to Bitcoin, kind of, people kind of seeing that as a form of digital gold. What we're seeing is what we now call social money, quite realistically right now, is turning into a form of this very rare digital, item that belongs to a community. So rather than someone buying it and then giving you the 1,000 tokens to get a sponsorship, you may want to create a model where someone can hold your social money for a 6-month period and get sort of sponsorships over time. Because what that does a bit differently is that'll incentivize many people to start buying it and holding it, because this guy's holding 1,000 for a while. And so, other people can have a stake in that sponsorship, right? That sponsorship will create buy pressure. And then, I may want to buy 5 of your tokens or 10 of your tokens because I'm seeing that model. You guys are pushing the whole thing forward and like reinventing the game. And that's never even been done before. So you guys would be pioneers there if you did that.
We're game inventors and pioneers and all that stuff. It's
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's say we wanted to do something, earlier in 2020, we gave away NFTs on Ethereum, and we had people go to a website and they would put in their name, their email, and their Ethereum wallet, and then we would manually handle the sending of those. Let's say we wanted to give a token that we might create to our listeners. Is there a way to do that in an automated method that doesn't require, somebody copying and pasting to distribute them?
And lots of gas fees, because this is on Ethereum. So if we're sending somebody a token we create and it costs us $18 to send one of our tokens, then that's not awesome.
Yeah, that's a really good question, guys. So we've arbitraged against this moment by doing as few things on chain as we can. So obviously we have to create social money on chain. It gets released or vested over a certain amount of time. That's on chain as well. But yeah, there are many tools you can use at Roll. We have a really popular tool called Earn Codes. So you can imagine these bit.ly style links, tryroll.com/goggies/XYZ123. And what that will be is a link with two parameters. One, the amount of social money that people are going to get. And two, the amount of people that can uniquely claim it. So if I'm Lady Gaga and I want to give everyone at my concert, my 50,000 person Madison Square Garden concert, 10 Goggies, I can create a code on Roll that 50,000 people can uniquely claim, 10 Goggies, and at the end of my, set, I can flash that as a QR code on the screen. And I could say VIP concert for everyone that has 10 Goggies. And literally everyone in that concert, without giving their email or Twitter or anything, can snap that and get 10 Goggies instantly. In the near future, we'll also sort of start embedding Roll onto other platforms. So there will be a Discord role and a Twitter role, and we'll use those features for distribution. You can start tweeting out social money to people. You can start airdropping social money on Discord.
And they can claim it easily is the point, is that it doesn't require, somebody on our team to go, okay, you get some and you get some. It's tied into the system where it's automated.
Yeah, the idea is to make it as easy as possible. We if you're Lady Gaga and you're giving out Goggies, you don't want everyone to have a mnemonic.
She's up at 5 a.m. copying and pasting to give away her Goggies.
They're like, yeah, sign up in your MetaMask, and that's not gonna happen at the concert. It's just
here's the deal. Sir Lord Travis and myself have talked about this, and those who are following in the Blockchain Heroes community have heard us allude to this, and by now the rest of you have probably figured it out, is that we have already created a social money currency, and it is called Hero, $Hero. And while we have not yet decided exactly how we're going to distribute and use it, we kind of wanted to bring you here today, Bradley, not just to talk about Roll, but to brainstorm with us and talk about how we might move forward and distribute this Hero token to our community. And eager to hear what your thoughts are.
Yeah, I'm a big fan, so I'm excited for the announcement. And when you guys release it, you guys have a really cool community. I think one of the cool things about Roll is just working with genius people like yourself. And so, we're helping, but we're watching as well. There's a lot of other people that are right behind you that are going to be watching as well. You better believe once you guys do this, a lot of other people are going to want to do it as well, which is awesome. So you guys are going to continue to be trailblazers there. So after announcing it, there's quite a few cool things we can do. So if you guys want to create markets, we're going to have some pretty unique tools later in the quarter to automate markets. I'm sure you could kind of guess some of those features, but super excited for the announcement and when you guys go live with it.
So when someone claims a Hero, so do they got to go on TryRoll to set up an account to get that? The way it's done off chain, or are they they're claiming it with their Ethereum address, and they're getting lots of charges of the. I don't understand how the gas fees are working on this thing to make it smooth for somebody. So if we're giving out, we say, all right, the first 100 people to claim this QR code, you're going to get 5 hero. Well, how does that work? That's 100 transactions. It's going to 100 different wallets. And how does the gas fees work? And then what is the fees to do that? How is that system? How does it work?
Yeah. So when we designed Roll, there were 2 options, right? So we can do everything on chain, which would be a nightmare because we're not a DeFi product. We're not trying to reinvent insurance or interest or anything like that. We're a social product. So we decided to do a lot of things off chain, very similar to Gemini or Coinbase or something like this. So it's a semi-custodial wallet. And so when people are receiving your social money hero, they're simply signing up as they would to a social platform. And once they sign up, they automatically receive a wallet with some hero in it. And that's the end of the process. If they're, if they're blockchain savvy, they may want to eject hero from their wallet and, pop it into their MetaMask, or they may want to add liquidity for hero and ETH and, create your market.
What's to keep people from gaming the system? Let's say we give away 100 people can get this. How do you keep people from having multiple accounts and logging in again and again to claim really quickly?
Yeah, so every earn code on Roll uniquely can only be claimed by one account. So, I'm Bradley at tryroll.com. I'm super excited to claim some hero. My account can only claim hero one time through that specific link.
But they can sign up for other accounts, right?
Well, we've gotten pretty good. So in our terms of service, we generally, go against people creating multiple, different types of accounts. Mm-hmm. We can't delete spam from the internet. So just to give you an idea, with Facebook, they estimate there's a close to around 400 million spam accounts on Facebook. So we're never going to delete spam completely or fake accounts, but we've gotten really good at,
let's just say it's frowned upon in this establishment. Do not be greedy. Do one, claim one. Don't be a jerkbag.
And also, these are early days, but you could understand, so the example we just gave is very similar to leaving a pot of gold in the middle of town hall, right? And certain people are going to be there and grab it, and hopefully you'll leave it in the right town hall, right? So you'll drop some earn codes at an event, and then people can claim it there or in a stream. Yeah. So the future of this is a lot more specific. You could imagine it as utilizing existing social to have you tweet out hero to your followers every Friday, right? Your most engaged followers. Tipping hero directly using Telegram or Discord, airdropping in specific channels. Maybe there's a channel in Discord where you could only, I'm going to make up some terms here, but only superheroes can get in. And a superhero could be someone that holds 1,000 hero. And then so from there, every Friday, you guys are just dropping hero on people. Hey, thanks for being a superhero. Here's 100 more hero. Maybe you guys are on Twitch and you want to stream hero, right? So that would look like, you're doing a 9-hour stream. If I'm in there for all 9 hours, I'm going to, literally receive, hero every few seconds. I'm on the stream through this bot. And so the future of this is a lot more specific to specific accounts, more so than sort of basic earn codes. But we're pretty excited about the future of this and where it's heading.
I'm going to, even though we're recording this just in audio, I'm looking at the TryRoll interface right now. And we've got, there's 10 million ever, right, of the hero social money. And you have distributed, 3.5 million or so, less the amount that Roll holds on to. And then you, every month more minted.
Yeah, so there's no admin key, there's no back door. Every month, directly to this account, you're going to receive around 200,000 Hero to your roll wallet. The interesting thing there is it's almost a contract between like you and you guys in the community. Like Hero is something that we're gonna, keep on utilizing for this time, and also, let's say you guys, give a talk at South by Southwest next year or something. You guys can start to really think about what you would do with that Hero for that specific period of time. So yeah, that's one method we've really thought about, and so it's worked for the first 300 users. We'll probably adapt it, as we reach tens of thousands, but pretty excited about laying the framework for it so far.
So I'm sorry, go ahead, Trev.
Go back to that screen you just had there, Joel.
This one?
Yeah. So on the dashboard, you have like make your first reward. You have like crypto art, crypto collectible, a shout out, ask me anything. I mean, there's a couple that are just blank that we can do with whatever. So for example, crypto art, we could then take that, we could upload and create an NFT, because right now it's okay, so there it is. We can actually create, we could upload a video, we can upload anything, and then we can say, here this is, and this is for sale for X amount of Hero. And then once Hero is available in Uniswap with liquidity, then people can go and buy it and then come and use those Heroes to buy those NFTs.
Yeah, and they could buy it directly on Roll too if you guys put it on Uniswap. And in addition to that, we have a partnership with OpenSea as well. So if I create something and I want to sell it in Hero, it'll also be available it'll also be visible on your rewards page, and other people will be able
so people could use that because it's an Ethereum based token. They could use Hero to buy that on Rarible or OpenSea.
Yeah, I could sell my sunglasses in Hero if I want.
Oh, that's interesting. Well, what if we said, all right, let's do something spontaneous right now and give out some Hero, because I'm looking at the tool right here. I see this thing that's a new way to earn. And if I click on this, it says, all right, maybe we can call it Founders Hero, right? Because you heard it here first. Then how many people should we limit that to? 100 people? And how much Hero would they then get?
Well, if we do 10, then that's 1,000 Heroes right out the door.
1,000 Hero right there. And there we go. So there's the QR code. So basically we would give them a short link to this right here. And that's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do. There's the first 100 of you to go to badco.in/Hero. You will be able to claim 10 Hero. Boom, like that. You will be a founder. You will have the initial supply of Hero.
And you guys can bit.ly that link as well if you want to throw that in bit.ly. And
yeah, well, that's we have our own. It's badco.in/Hero. I'm going to create it right now, so it's ready to go. We're going to make it rain for the first 100 of you.
And so I think the really interesting thing about social money is, I don't know your guys' sort of status, but you have millions of a thing, right? You guys are heroes. You guys are Hero millionaires. And so what you can do quite simply is it doesn't cost you guys a lot to deploy this to create valuable actions, right? Maybe it's valuable for you guys to have other people that are influential in the Hero universe to sell things in Hero on OpenSea. So you guys can actually deploy bounties. You could say like, hey guys, if you're playing Crypto Space Commanders or, Gods Unchained or anything, and if you're selling these items in Hero, we're going to give you more Hero. We're going to give you 100 Hero a month. And that may be valuable for you guys. And so that's something you guys can do at sort of no cost. Simply by deploying more Hero in the community. So it's sort of an endless way to generate valuable things in your world.
Pretty cool. Well, we're figuring this out as we go along here, gang. We want to reward you for being part of the community. We're going to find ways to distribute Hero token, not just through this podcast, but also to Blockchain Heroes and Nifty Show. I don't know, Travis and I will discuss it, and we just want to get it distributed, and we'll figure out what you're going to be able to use it for down the road. We really just want to give it some thought, and we're pretty excited about it.
And not only that, I think maybe the community could help us even think of ways to use it, because it seems like it's wide open. You know, social influencer money is going to be huge. NFTs is huge. That space is only growing. And so maybe that's one of the things that we do is we start pushing the envelope on creating things within this with our hero token, and finding ways to get that on some of those other exchanges, because we're primarily on Wax. So if we could do some NFTs and use our hero token on some of the Ethereum NFT markets, that could be fun.
Yeah, for sure. I think some of the things you guys do, you'll likely be, it's so early, you may be the first in the world to do it, right? No one's really done sponsorships in their own currency. There's just some, I know you guys are authors. I don't think we've ever really had a published author create their own currency. So that there's just so many things you can do. And I know a bunch of people are watching you guys lead the way. So exciting stuff.
We are on the case. Bradley, thanks a lot. You guys can try roll for yourself at tryroll.com. Go claim your 10 hero if you're one of the first 100 at bagco.in/hero. And make sure that you keep listening and be tuned into the things that we're doing, because more hero is coming your way. Thanks, Bradley. Appreciate you.
Amazing. Thanks, Travis. Thanks, Joel. This was great.
There you go. You got to be fast, gang. If you're one of the first 100, 10 hero are waiting for you as our gift to the community. This is the first time we're doing a distribution of the hero social money, but not the last time. So if you didn't get in fast enough, most of you won't, because again, it's only the first 100 are getting it this time. But now you know, and you're not going to want to miss an episode of this show going forward, because you never know when we're going to give away hero. You want to listen to the Nifty Show on Fridays at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard, 2 o'clock Pacific at nifty.show/YouTube or nifty.show/theta, because we may give away hero live there. Be a part of our Blockchain Heroes community on Telegram at t.me/BC Heroes, because they've actually, the truth is, since it's the hero token, there's some people there that already got some hero token. There will be more, and we're going to find ways for you guys to redeem your hero for goodies from the Bad Crypto Podcast, Blockchain Heroes, and other projects that we are involved in.
Yep. Pretty excited about it. And I hope you guys enjoyed that interview there with Bradley from Tryroll. And we're going to be trying to do some really pretty cool stuff with social money. We believe social money and NFTs specifically combined can create some really, really interesting opportunities. So we're pretty excited. And so why don't you guys go to badco.in/hero and get yourself 10 hero tokens. And you're going to have to hurry, because there's only 100 available. So those who were the early birds listening to this podcast are the ones that get the worm. We're pretty excited about social money and NFTs. Another thing we're excited about is Lattice Exchange, because transparency cannot be emphasized enough. You really need to know what's going on at your exchange, and decentralized exchanges, quite frankly, they bring lots of benefits, and transparency is just one. You get to see what's going down. And Lattice is actually built on the Constellation network. Same speed and power and security that the U.S. military trusts with Constellation's hypergraph. And you can check it out, man. It does some really, really great stuff over there. Lattice.exchange, and you can join their Telegram as well and be in on the ground floor of this huge thing. And you can actually go there. The Telegram is t.me/lattice_exchange. Go check it out, or go to lattice.exchange and look at the website and go find other things you like.
Yeah, man. It sounds awesome, man.
You can do whatever you like.
Yeah, man, I'm digging it. Hey, everybody, thanks for listening to the show. We do appreciate you, and we do invite you to tune into all the places that we are now broadcasting content to you. Of course, there's the 2 Bad Crypto podcast shows each week. There's the Nifty Show on Fridays, and by popular demand, even though it is a video show, enough people have said, hey, why aren't you uploading the audio version to your podcast feed, because I think I stopped back around episode 14 and we're up to 30 is on just happened on Friday. And so I have downloaded and converted all of the videos to audio. They are dripping out like one a day on the feed. So if you're listening to episodes of the Nifty Show that appear new, some of them are actually a couple months old, but they will be caught up here in a couple weeks. And going forward, all episodes of Nifty Show will be broadcast on audio as well. So if you go to theniftyshow.com, you'll find the various outlets for the show there in the podcast realm, and you can go subscribeify and reviewify and enjoyify those shows as well.
Yeah. And, it really is a visual medium. And then when we say, hey, look at the screen here, obviously you can't do that when you're on a podcast, but what it might do is inspire you to then go find that episode on YouTube or Theta, because those are, I don't think they're stored on Theta, but
they're not stored on Theta, but they are stored on YouTube. They're stored on Library if you prefer decentralized video sites, as well as I believe on Facebook in the Bad Crypto Mastermind group. But there was enough people that came to me and said, I enjoyed listening. They didn't need to see. So apparently there's a lot of people that like to listen on the go, don't necessarily have time or not available at the time we're live, or maybe they just don't like YouTube. I don't know. There could be all kinds of reasons.
That's a valid concern. I'm down with that.
Yeah, all kinds of reasons. And there's so much going on. Gang, we are just absolutely steeped in some super cool stuff, working with super cool people. We invite you, because you're super cool, to be a part of it with us. And we remind you that whatever else you do when you're listening right now, and as you go into your week, as you awake, as you slumber, as you work, as you play, as you hug those who are near to you, remember to wash your hands. If you're going to cough, do it into your elbow, like that, not into your hands, and stay bad.
Who's bad?
The Bad Crypto Podcast is a production of Bad Crypto LLC. The content of the show, the videos, and the website is provided for educational, informational, and entertainment purposes only. It's not intended to be and does not constitute financial, investment, or trading advice of any kind. You shouldn't make any decisions as to finances, investing, trading, or anything else based on this information without undertaking independent due diligence and consultation with a professional financial advisor. Please understand that the trading of Bitcoins and alternative cryptocurrencies have potential risks involved. Anyone wishing to invest in any of the currencies or tokens mentioned on this podcast should first seek their own independent professional financial advisor. And brush your teeth.
And if I could turn back time.
No!